We start things off from the New York Post. Enes Kanter Freedom escorted out of Fever Sky game after ugly exchange with WNBA star Natasha Cloud. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Former NBA player Enes Kanter Freedom was removed from Sunday night's game between the Sky and Fever at Wintrust Arena in Chicago after a heated interaction between the ex-hooper and Sky guard Natasha Cloud. Freedom has thrust himself into the ongoing discourse surrounding trans athletes in women's sports, which has set off a firestorm in the WNBA after Sophie Cunningham told ESPN she wanted to protect young girls in sports who shouldn't have to go against biological men. Completely rational, completely understandable. But as you know here on the BuzWeaver channel, as we have said for actually many years, the left was giving a little bit of space, right? They were given the benefit of the doubt because they couldn't reconcile, for example, that Donald Trump had won the election. So the Democrats then hyped them up, emboldened them. So they took it. So they were given an inch and they took a mile. They hijacked our language. They hijacked our culture. They hijacked our institutions, and they hijacked our justice system. And here we are today after all that and the things we used to discuss. Here we are today. Look at what's going on. Trying to define what is a woman, ladies and gentlemen, in 2026. It's not entirely clear what set off the situation, but during the third quarter, after Cloud made a layup, she started to say something toward the baseline where Freedom was sitting. Cloud Sky teammates and team personnel had to hold her back, and Freedom was seen on the broadcast getting up out of his seat and walking toward Cloud with a smirk on his face and arms outstretched. Now, we're going to see this here in a minute, but I don't know how many of you guys have been to games, and people are always saying something on the sideline. People are always yelling at the players. They're always saying something. There's all this activity going on, but Cloud had to take it upon herself to inject her own self into the situation with Enes here. And as you can see, and we're going to play some of the clips now so you guys can get a better understanding of what took place. So they want him out. So you guys understand here. So they wanted him out of the game. Now, if this were any other person yelling and screaming, the players would have just ignored them. But Cloud had to take it upon herself to go over there and say something to him. And so much of this has become a spectacle. And I've always suspected just from the beginning of this, whether it's Caitlin Clark or whether it's Sophie Cunningham and all the things that happen on the court, it's kind of like a WWE of basketball. It's what attention, what they can get from the attention, right? Because it's like the old saying, bad press is good press because you're getting covered, you're being seen. Now, here was the recording from the announcer's perspective.
6-point basketball game. Chicago staying in it. Natasha Cloud. And right before the break, this was the scene inside Wintrust Arena. After Natasha Cloud got that bucket, she wanted her voice heard. We have talked about the conversations surrounding.
Now, the reason they were saying she wanted to hear her voice heard is because, as I understand it, I think it was either Sophie or Caitlin Clark had scored a three, and that irritated the team, and so she went down and then scored herself to kind of even it out or to get closer in the score, and then that's when the exchange happened with Enes, which is wild. And here's the latest from both of the players, both Enes and Royce. So we have former NBA players Enes Kanter Freedom and Royce White are privately being deemed ineligible for the 2027 WNBA draft despite identifying as women. And, of course, you know the argumentation here. League sources say the WNBA will refuse to change any definitions of woman, but will still make sure they can't play, which is fascinating, right? So there you have it. But this was brought about by DEI, intersectionality, identitarianism, CRT, all the different acronyms, all the different ideology, philosophies, and worldviews of the left that they were introducing and injecting into society. As we've said here on the BuzWeaver channel, they hijacked our language, they hijacked our justice system, they hijacked our institutions. They've done everything they can to try to manipulate, coerce, but most of all, shut down any opposing voices. And that's what we're seeing here. So basically, Enes was kicked out of the game but for just simply being there and then interacting with that player. Now, she didn't have to go over there and say a thing to him, and he didn't say anything. He just stood up, showed his shirt. Now, he walked over there towards the court. An ordinary person would have probably been tackled by the police at that point if they got anywhere near the court, much less in exchange with a player. But, of course, these individuals, these athletes and so forth, have status, as it were. People know who they are. And it probably, wasn't a big factor towards the WNBA because it's, it's attention once again. But that's what we have here. That is the exchange between Kanter and between Enes and Cloud here. And quite extraordinary story. Let me know what your thoughts are down there in the comments section, as we're learning now that the NBA, of course, or the WNBA is not going to probably allow them to play in their sport. But just want to get your thoughts and opinions down below. And, of course, below this video, you can find the various social media links that I belong to include X, ladies and gentlemen. That would be Instagram as well as TikTok. And, of course, my affiliate marketing links. If you are you order frequently from Amazon or a Prime member, you can just use my landing page link. It helps out the channel. No particular cost to you. Your privacy is protected. And, of course, if you're looking for privacy online, my favorite VPN, TrustZone, is down there as well. No fuss, no bloat. You get straight to what you want to do. And I have been very impressed with the server speeds. Nonetheless, guys, that's what I had for you today. And appearing there on the screen, that's going to be the channel icon. You guys can click on that to subscribe, as well as to select notifications. That way you know when there's content here on the channel. And I'll see all you guys in the next video.